Another day, another fruit. So we've got two here lined up. This one you most likely will recognize. A beautiful cacao pod, fresh. So you can eat the whole thing essentially, but I'll usually go for the white stuff around, which tastes a bit more sweet, and the inside is going to be really, really bitter. It's like purple, so it's going to leave a mark on your tongue as well. So for color scheme, might be cool, but don't recommend eating it. I think there are many health benefits if you actually eat the pod as well, so I mean the seeds, but at the same time, not everyone's cup of tea. Here, I'm not entirely sure what this is. Some friends have suggested this could be a jackfruit, but it looks different. If you have any idea, please comment. I'm super curious. I'll be asking around as well in the market when I go to get some more, because it smells delicious. We haven't tasted it yet. We obviously have a general idea, and hopefully this pod is not infected, so it's going to taste delicious. But this one, no clue what it's going to taste like. Also, we've got a better sized knife this time, so we're going to start with this one. I'm not entirely sure how to go about opening it. It's very hard in terms of the skin, as you can tell. Got a bit of a smell too. I'm not sure how passion fruity-ish. Alright, so the inside, as you can tell, it's from my understanding, it's a combination of seeds, and you don't actually eat the seeds. Like, you definitely don't eat the seeds of this one, in comparison to the cacao pod that we have here. But yeah, no, I'm gonna need to cut more. Quite slimy. Yeah, really dense fruit. Oh, okay. Wow, that color and smell is incredible. So I'm not sure the camera does it really justice, but you've kind of got a bright orange vibe to it. I think I cut through the seed, but I'm not sure this is meant to be eaten. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm trying to understand how this fruit works. So she told me you don't eat the seed, but you eat what's around it. I mean, we've got a bit of rotten here, so maybe it's a bit past its date and I'm tasting like a rotten apple, the equivalent of a rotten apple, but not a huge fan in all honesty. I might be eating it wrong. Hopefully one of you, the few of you that are watching, actually has an idea what this is. If I ate it properly. She told me you weren't meant to cook it. I specifically asked that there would be no food that you have to cook, because I just don't have a kitchen, or vegetable, or any type of food that you have to cook for that matter. Yeah, not a huge fan. Not a huge fan, as you can tell. Right, so we'll move on to the cacao pod, and hopefully this one is actually healthy. So we've got two. This one, when you shake it, you can feel the seeds inside. And the other one that we have, when you shake it, you don't feel anything. From memory, if I recall correctly, I need to double check on this again, and you should do so as well. I'll write in the comment section, in the description, whether or not this statement is correct. If you feel it, it's good, because you've got the essence. Well, I'm gonna open it up so you can see. So you gotta be delicate with cutting it. Well, not really, because either way, you cut through, and it looks maybe a bit less stylish, but I'm still going to try and get a good angle, so bear with. Don't want to cut a finger here, although that would definitely get more views, right? But fuck the views! Not doing it for that reason, just for the documentation of the cacao. Right, so here we can open up the pod. Oof, looking beautiful. Alright, smells good. So that's the inside. So those of you who are experiencing how chocolate is made, you already know this and you can skip past this part. But essentially what we have here are the seeds. So afterwards and that's what's kept for making chocolate, right? So they're dried first or fermented for a couple days. I think it's about a week. So you leave them out. In indigenous communities, they'll just cover it up with banana leaves and let it ferment for a couple of weeks. It builds up the flavor, if you will. A week to 2 weeks essentially. I'm not sure how they do it in the industrial sense, but generally they'll just chuck on banana leaves because it's really cheap as well as a mechanism to just preserve heat. Once that's done, they go for the drying period. So the drying period can take up to 40 days essentially, if not longer, because they need 40 days of sun. So where it becomes complicated, especially in tropical environments where it can always rain at any point, is they have people setting these seeds on grids that they can essentially move quickly from an outside rain. So give them some sunlight, and if the rain quickly comes in, pull them back in through the roof. And then they're protected. And once they're ready for 40 days and properly dried, essentially they take this black color, and then you roast them. and that's what gives it this kind of similar to coffee, theobromine chemical release. You're really happy, super smiley. It's like, oh my gosh, I love chocolate. So we're gonna taste the seeds. It looks really healthy, the whole setup, and what you essentially eat is the white bit around. It's a lot sweeter than what you might think, and if you ever get the chance, it's really worth trying. The difference between the two fruits is incomparable. Like, that's delicious. So let me cut a seed open as well to give you an idea of the interior. So here you have, like I said, a really, I'm not sure, it's so slimy, a really vibrant purple, beautiful, beautiful color, and very, very bitter. But that's essentially the cacao seed, which is then roasted and goes through the whole process to make chocolate and end up in your nice sweet hands. So we might eat a few of these. We've still got, I think, one more, but initially what I thought was going to be a mysterious fruit actually turns out to be grapefruit, I believe is the name. I think it's a grapefruit, yes. Looking greener than what I'm used to seeing grapefruits as, but it's definitely got the recognizable smell. And you know what, let's cut it open. This is essentially our lunch, so I'm not realistically gonna be eating this, I'm afraid. I'm really not a huge fan. Smell is very misleading. It's one of those like that smells delicious but does not taste good. I think of this more as a flower than a fruit now. Like good to have for decorum potentially, but not eating. I'll try it again though. I'll buy another one in the market because it's worth giving a shot. I might just have been unfortunate with keeping it a few days and it rot a bit, but it seems pretty healthy and it smells still very nice. It doesn't smell fermented, so maybe I'm just weirded out by the taste. Not a huge fan of papaya or watermelon for that matter, so you know there are fruits you just don't like, and that's that. I'm not swallowing the seeds because I'm not really keen on the bitterness. So yeah, that's how you open up a grapefruit. I'm not entirely sure, so bear with. Yeah, I'm pretty positive this is a grapefruit. Indeed. Or is it? Now that smells a lot more citrusy than the grapefruit. So the interior you will recognize, I believe, it's got the same structure, outer ring, and then I don't know how you eat them generally, but the way I grew up with them is usually go for a spoon and kind of scoop in these layers, but in order to do that you slice through every single one of them, so you kind of separate them from the rim right here. I don't know why I'm explaining you how to eat a grapefruit. You most likely know, but this is a fruit vlog, so deal with it. We've got the grapefruit, so you cut through and then you just scoop the rest up. I'm gonna do that afterwards because I still need to go get a spoon in the kitchen, and for that reason. But let's taste it just a bit to, you know, confirm it's a grapefruit. Definitely a grapefruit. Right, so not too many crazy vegetables and fruits. The rest is broccoli, avocado, you know what that's like, and garlic cloves. That's pretty much it. That's our diet, if you will. So we need to figure out what this is. We need to try and buy one again and see if it was just an unfortunate version of it or if it's the general taste that we're not a huge fan of. Let me know if you have any particular fruits you can think of that you love that I have not tried or not extremely knowledgeable about. And if you get the chance again to visit South America, do so. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful opportunity for so much, including fruits. So in between the day markets that you can find basically any fruit, vegetable you can think of, it's worth going out in the evening to find the pizza cone. First time trying, we never heard of it before. Initially we were just going on a walk around and then we saw like pizza cone. What's that? I had very mixed feelings about it. It makes sense in terms of transportation, it stays warm, delicious, very cheesy. I approve. You should give it a shot.
Let's go. surprise as we basically headed out to the market one last time in our last night in Puyo in order to get a few cacao pods. We ended up in the middle of a festival. Beautiful dances of all different types. Right now, we've got a different like kind of rave vibe going on. I'm not sure how well you can hear me as well, but just before, like 5 minutes earlier, you had beautiful indigenous women and men dancing to some very nice suiting music as well. So the contrast is insane. Really nice to watch and a good last surprise in Ecuador. I'm gonna miss the South American vibe so much. So such a good positive energy, the music, the culture, the food. Worth checking out, really worth checking out. I'm so grateful for these 7 weeks and I hope we can get back here soon.